back to Chessometrics. Today I would like to show my game which I play in German Masters against Kateryna and let's see what happens in this game. So, I played with the black pieces, it was a French defense, and in this variation I choose something to try with a g5. That's a very surprise move maybe, and of course this is not like a main stuff for black, but after g5 white have to decide what to do now, because now somehow the black would like to play like g4 or queen f6. That's why after h3 the white try to stop with idea g4, black somehow to develop queen on f6, and maybe in future the plan with the h5, g4 can happen. That's why the white try queen e2 and somehow to close position into the center with e5. And that's how we've got this middle game. After g4, of course, idea with e5, of course, the black have to somehow to pressure on the king side with idea 5 h5. And after long castle, of course, the black can try the game on the two flanks with the a5 as well. So that's why white try to stop a3, to stop my pawn break with a4, a3. But after b6, of course, the black try to develop somehow bishop on b7, or in some variation also bishop can be good on a6 square. But after h5, the black also try to get attack somehow to this king side, yeah? So, okay, let's see what was the next. Bishop g2. Bishop b7, bishop d2, and after e4 I saw that it's very interesting try when the knight goes on d4. Now just try take on g4. So, and then after take on g4 it can seem that the black actually can win a piece, because after knight goes from f3, the knight on d4 hanged, yeah. And the second variation after knight c6, it's very tempting here just to take knight on f3, like take on f3. But somehow it cannot be possible in this line, because after take on f3, the problem that's not knight take on e7. Yeah, after taking e7, of course, pawn can take on e2, then we can win rook on d1 and everything like fine for black. But the problem not with the knight here, the problem with just bishop can take on f3. And if I take back the knight, bishop suddenly can goes on h5 and black just lose a queen. So that was some tricks from the white side. That's why after knight c6 I have to take with the knight. But I think this middle game also quite good for black, because the pawn on e5 still weak, firstly, and the second pawn on f2 also weak. So that's how we've come to this position, and after queen a5, of course, the best move with the white e4, or try to change this pawn, weak pawn from f2, like making passant. And after long castle, of course, the black still would like to somehow win this pawn on e5. But it's not so easy, because of course the white play d4, and after rook g8 we've got next position, next critical position, which is very interesting. White now play queen f3. So, okay, and now my question. I play with the black here, and suddenly I've got a very interesting plan, a very interesting idea. And if you would like somehow to understand what the idea comes, you can stop my video and a bit think. So, okay, let's go. I guess that you found this move. You're right, it's a very interesting solution, just sacrifice a piece, but not only one piece. Because after knight e5, suddenly we see that if the queen tried to take on e5, black just take on e5, and after take on e5, rook can also win the bishop on g2. And in this position, in this endgame, black just have a pawn up and the bishop on b7, h8. I think, of course, this variation just better for black. That's why white have to take back the piece on e5. But you can ask, what's now? The black have no piece. And now suddenly goes next move. Rook goes on g2. Rook just sacrifice on g2, and it means that, of course, the white have to take this rook. And what to do now? Black without a rook or what? No. Now comes next move. Queen takes on e5, and suddenly we see this is battery extremely strong, because the knight would like to mate on b2, and secondly queen attack on e3. And what to do now? Now, of course, the white have to give a piece back, but not like a piece back. We have a two pair bishop, which strategically very strong in open position. Secondly, the black have a two pawn up. And third, of course, idea to attack steal the king. So that was an idea, and I think strategically it's also very interesting to get such a position. And now it's a very big question how to continue with the white, because it's not so easy to get rid of this battery of this bishop and queen. That's why only move c3, but after c3 we see that actually these squares also completely weak, and in potential, yeah, this is like diagonal can also suddenly be open. So, okay, in the game was queen f3, queen e4, maneuvering for some ideas, and the white tried somehow attack the bishop on h8, maybe with idea rook comes on f7, on f8, and somehow to understand how to continue with the white pieces. But after queen g8, so now we can see the next interesting move, next interesting tactical solution. And again, if you would like to think like some minutes, you can stop my video and try to again understand what's the next move. Yes, you are right. Bishop on c3. Next sacrifice from the black side. Bishop can be sacrificed for 3 pawns, and the white king will be completely open after take on c3, queen a3. The problem is that the king actually have no so many moves to go, or square c2 or square d1, but after this move the queen can of course make a lot of checks. And not only the queen here, not only the problem with the white king, also the problem suddenly comes that the black have a free pawn of the a3, and yes, the white have a rook up on the board, but there is no seems how the white can use this rook. There is no mate, for example, on a8, because the bishop completely strong here, completely protect all the squares. And the question how the white can coordinate all of these pieces to stop the a pawn, and it's not so easy to do. Maybe some attempt queen to g7 and take on c7 and somehow to try activate all of this, but after queen b2 as well, it seems not so easy to stop all of this idea with a pawn. So, no, in the game was rook e4, and I think after this move actually it's very easy to win, because after check queen a1, maybe queen e2 is only one move, because after queen c2 comes next check on b2, then comes a2. But after king e2, again we see that the bishop also can try attack after bishop a6, queen can take on c3, and then after take on d2, of course the black can make a lot of checks, and again bishop can come back on b7, and there is no mate, but pawn actually come to a queen. And after several moves, white just resigned. So, okay, that was the game from the 5th round. I hope you enjoyed this game, and see us to the next video. Don't forget success through chess. See us!